How do you let someone come into your house and disrespect you? Let's go ahead and talk about Real Madrid's unfortunate, disappointing debut in the Champions League. What's up, guys? Welcome back to El Merengue Culé. As you guys can see, this is not the usual setup. That is because I am at school, but I have the Real Madrid against Shakhtar game. And guys, what a disappointing game that was. Probably one of the worst games I've seen Real Madrid play, especially that first half. The second half wasn't as bad, but let's go ahead and break down that first half. To begin, I saw the lineup, and this time there's no excuses. I saw Casemiro was starting, Fede Valverde was starting, so no excuses compared to last week, where I said Zinedine Zidane was at big fault for having lined up such an anti-competitive lineup with players like Luka Modric, Marcelo, who should just not be playing all together at once on the team. So this time it felt like a more competitive lineup, even though up top he had a lot of substitutions. He allowed Rodrigo and Jovic to start. And initial thoughts, I was like, you know what, this is very interesting. A great opportunity for Rodrigo to go out there. He hasn't been having a lot of minutes, but to go out there and prove that he's still got what it takes. He can still fight Vinicius for a starting spot. But unfortunately, for the first 45 minutes, I don't think I saw Rodrigo touch the ball once. Likewise, for Jovic, it was a great opportunity for him to prove that he could also play and do something good without having next to him. And 45 minutes go by, I think I saw him touch the ball once. So completely embarrassing, no movement from them, either of them up top, just completely static, which translated to the team overall. Just a lack of intensity, lack of attitude. No one was trying to. The problem is that it was just too many horizontal passes, no vertical passes. No one was trying to take on a defender. No one was trying to be a game changer. And instead, while they still did have possession of the ball, they had some sort of like high line without. It's like they try to press high, but like all they did was stand higher in the field without actually pressing. Transition to defense was completely horrendous. So Shakhtar would just have a free walk in the park towards Courtois' goal, in which they obviously found themselves three well-deserved goals. I'm not even going to go into talking about how each goal was. Just know that Real Madrid's defending was completely terrible. Diving in, ball watching, people slipping. It was chaos. And within a span of 10 minutes, Real Madrid found themselves losing 3-0 at home. At halftime, I mean, my whole idea is, how can Real Madrid respond from this? They're down 3-0. They obviously have to respond. They cannot allow a team to just continue humiliating them in their own stadium. And so, sure enough, from halftime, Zinedine Zidane made one substitution, taking out Rodrigo, which I've already mentioned how horrible his game was, and he brought in Benzema. So once again, it was Jovic and Benzema up top. Obviously, Zidane talked to them, and they came out to that second half just with a lot more intensity, pressing high, moving the ball quickly. And it wasn't until the next couple minutes that Luka Modric fired a complete banger from outside the box, went upper 90, and it like basically showed Real Madrid that their efforts had paid off. That if they did press like this, they could find goals. So suddenly they found themselves in a 3-1, still down, but 3-1 with a goal. And right away, Zidane made another sub, brought on Vinicius Jr., and he was a complete game changer because he brought the difference that we were needing. While Benzema brought good pause to the game by allowing us to give him the ball, he can hold up the ball and allow the team to move up, which is what Jovic was not doing. Jovic was just up there. Just infuriating. But Vinicius Jr. brought the other aspect of it, which was he actually took players on. He carried that ball from the midfield all the way to the final third, and he wasn't afraid to take people on to do something, create something. And sure enough, from the moment he walks onto the field, the first ball he touches, he ends up scoring. So suddenly, minute 59, Real Madrid found themselves only down by one goal, which honestly made me really feel like Real Madrid was going to be able to tie the game, possibly even win it. Unfortunately, while Real Madrid didn't play bad that second half, they still did allow a lot of shots on target for Shakhtar, and Shakhtar could have easily scored that fourth goal. So still, overall, it goes down as a very bad game. But what I guess the positive I can take out from this game is the change in attitude that Real Madrid had. That they saw that they still had some fight in them, and they didn't just give up. So in a sense, like, I'd rather see that than just go out of the game losing 3-0 with their heads down the entire game. With that being said, though, Fede Valverde did score in the last minute to tie it up 3-3. However, last second, it was decided to be taken off by VAR. a decision that I do agree with. I think Vinicius Jr. was definitely standing in the path of vision of the goalkeeper, preventing him from making seeing where the ball was going. So anyways, Real Madrid loses their debut 3-2 to Shakhtar when they still have to play against Inter. And for those of you guys that watched the Champions League draw reaction video that we did, you guys saw how I was happy at the fact that Real Madrid got an easier group, especially when they drew out Shakhtar. And I mean, this goes to show why I felt that way, because I know that Real Madrid is not, they're currently not living their best of moments. And which goes to, I think, emphasize even Barca's state of current being, that they, which are in my opinion, they're in the same exact place. In terms of Europe, Real Madrid and Barcelona do not compare to teams, especially in the Premier League. Bayern Munich. I think Juventus is a different story, but anyways, I just don't think that Real Madrid and Barcelona are ready for those things because of the transitions that they're going to, which is why I was, I guess, happy in a sense to see Real Madrid get a little bit easier of a group. But it just goes on to show that Real Madrid can still bottle it. I think Zidane is the main blame for this game. I'm not exactly sure how he is lacking to motivate players, what he is not saying to them, or what he is saying to them that's just not working. But I think it's been probably a theme of this whole season that Real Madrid is just going out there with very little intensity, very different from the Real Madrid we saw at the end of last season coming back from the pandemic break. This leaves us in a very tricky spot going into El Clásico because sensations are not very good. The team is not playing well. The only thing that I said I can clinch onto is the fact that whenever Benzema and Vinicius do come on, and we had, I guess, our full power starting 11, the team did look fine. Obviously, there's so many things that they can fix, but they looked more like the Real Madrid that at least we saw at the end of the season. It'll be interesting to see. We're of course going to do a pregame to the El Clásico, so we'll be able to discuss all these issues going on. For now, it was definitely not a good debut for Real Madrid. They have now an uphill battle to climb. It's not the end of the world. It's just the first game, and they have more than enough quality to go ahead and beat the rest of the teams in their group. And I do believe that they will come out first. However, like I said, a very disappointing game. Anyways, guys, Real Madrid has just taken 2 L's in a row. We don't see that very often, but if you guys have watched this video and stayed loyal to it and to Real Madrid, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you to please hit a thumbs up and let me know what you think of the game. Let me know what you think of Zidane's decisions. Do you agree with me that he's potentially the reason for this lack of bad play? Let me know what you think down in the comments. As always, I hope you all have a wonderful day. We will be seeing you for that El Clásico pregame analysis video. I'll see you guys later, and as always, a la Madrid.